Come on, come all! Feast your eyes upon the most marvelous martial magnificence that the Underdark has to offer. I, Baldur, the Entertainer, cordially invite you to join the audience of my latest spectacle, the Black Pits!
What? What? Where are we?
Who spiked me drink? I was just in the tavern talking to Myrna. Hey, I saw those folks there too.
We're in some kind of fighting pit! Look out! Monsters!
You have qualified.
What's next? Ah, this group. Are they awake yet? Oh, rouse yourselves, you lice-laden layabouts. Stand and salute your new master, Baldur, the Entertainer. You may also thank me, since your meaningless lives are about to become infinitely more exciting, and quite likely, abbreviated. You have been brought here by an unlucky roll of the die. Well, unlucky for you. Gather some equipment, gird your loins, and prepare to fight. Nashim, my obedient slave, take care of them. And don't forget to give them a little spending money.
As my master commands, take these coins, speak with the dealers gathered here to equip yourselves. Once you are prepared, report to Master Baldur. Do not attempt to escape, lest he command me to snuff out your life. You have been summoned to this island fortress by Baldur. We are in a complex known as the Black Pits, dug by Durgar slaves. You are to fight in the battle pits for the amusement of Baldur's guests. I have answered your questions. Now prepare for battle. I am bound by an undying geas. Otherwise, I would have slaughtered Baldur long ago.
I can hear you!
Prepare yourself for battle, mortal. When you are ready to face your fate, speak with Baldur.
What do... Oh, more of your sort. All right, I'll get you whatever you need. My name is Devlin Terralom. I deal mainly in ranged weaponry. What can I get you? I'd better not waste time talking to you. Baloth will hurt me more. I am a slave to his will. Please don't bring me to his attention. Forget I said anything. Please, just buy something before he comes over. I don't wish to annoy him further. Greetings, surface dwellers. If it's potions you seek, then my friend can brew something special just for you. You may call me Baldur. He is not a mere mushroom, but a sentient being known as a myconid. I'm not surprised you haven't encountered one before. Most live in the lower reaches of the Underdark. That's where I met this charming fella. An unfortunate wrong turn led me into a deadly field of fungus. I would have died had the concoctor not arrived in time to save me with one of his marvelous elixirs. No, his name is a brief sequence of spores that most people can barely detect, much less interpret. But we've wandered the Underdark together so long that I can now translate his spore talk for others. His full name is closer to Keen-Scented Concoctor of Marvelous Drafts. And even that's not his real name, which even I can't fully understand. After my friend rescued me, we wandered the Underdark for a while, searching for rare ingredients for his potions and valuable gems for me. Unfortunately, before we found much of either, Baloth found us. The Drow would have slain us both, but when he learned of the concoctor's talent for potions, he brought us here to support his entertainment. Oh, we tried all right as soon as he turned his back. But Baloth has put some sort of charm on us that makes us obey. You've probably felt its effects yourself. We can't, not as far as I can tell. Only Baloth's will, or maybe his death, can release us. Unfortunately, the same enchantment that keeps us from disobeying him also keeps us from fighting back, as if that would do any good with that powerful djinn by his side. In the meantime, can I help you find a potion? They're all still warm.
Day is coming soon, and then Baloth shall pay. What's this? More useless captives for the black pits? Have you come to buy my scrolls? I do not mumble. I plot, I scheme, and I bide my time. For revenge, of course. Baloth's geese cannot last forever, no matter what he says. The moment I am free to do as I will, he shall pay for my subjugation. I do not care about the others. I shall be the one who wrings the last drops of life out of that wizard's neck, and woe unto those who try to steal my revenge away.
What do you interlopers want? If it isn't a light weapon, then off with you. Friendly? This you surface-walking intruders? Ha! If Baloth hadn't taken over, my people and I would already have driven you out. Or to your grave, more likely. I'm no more a slave than you are. Maybe a little less. I meant only that... never mind what I meant. You are as much an intruder as Baloth. This territory belongs to my people, the Durgar.
You are Baloth's latest troops, aren't you? Yeah. Well, I hope you can at least spit in his eye before you die. That last group, you should have bought more of my heavy armor. Abducted? This here is my home. Or at least it was, until that confounded wizard slaughtered my clan after forcing us to dig out this blasted complex. Baldur will punish Baloth in due time. Until then, his cruel spells prevent us from rebelling. Some days I wish he'd vaporize me along with the others. At least I wouldn't have to suffer this humiliation. Now, what do you want?
You fools have no idea what you're in for. You'd best arm yourselves as heavily as possible. I can help with that, if you've enough coin. I find little cause for amusement since that Drow unleashed his monsters on us, which never would have worked if we had even one worthy man among us. Do not mistake me for a mere warrior, outsider. I am a cleric of Baldur, the Grey Protector. How dare! But, in your own insufferable manner, you make a good point. Baldur must have turned away from us. We must prove ourselves worthy before he lends us his protection again. If I were not so starved for conversation, I would pay you in kind for your insolence. Too bad there isn't a man here to stand up for me. I'm waiting. Ugh, it's no use. Now, do you intend to buy something, or just continue to annoy me?
More placings for Balos? They dragged off the bodies of the last one just yesterday. I suppose you've wisely decided that being light on your feet is the only way to prolong your life? Dozens, perhaps hundreds by now. I try not to become involved, since most don't survive long in the black pits. And I have no love for your kind. Now, can I sell you some light armor? More placings for Balos? They dragged off the bodies of the last one just yesterday. I suppose you've wisely decided that being light on your feet is the only way to prolong your life?
That's right. Light on your feet so you can run away from talking to your own wife.
It is a complicated matter. I do not wish to discuss it with you.
At least this time it's not only me he won't talk to. Come to think of it, I don't know if that's any better.
Now, can I sell you some light armor?
Yes, more mortals to twist in agony upon the battlefield. Were I not enjoying the sight so much, I would be tempted to step into the arena and eviscerate you myself. Who are you to judge where I belong? Baloth is one of my most valued customers. When he invited me here, I welcomed the opportunity to display my finely crafted magical garments to hundreds of spectators from across the realms. Baloth would never cast such a spell on an honored guest. And why would I wish to leave? Baloth is known for his especially horrific tableaus. His name is whispered in reverent tones by all who relish blood sport. Now, shall I begin fitting you for a burial shroud?
I see that Baloth has found another promising candidate to fight in the arena. You have no need to fear until the day Baloth releases me. Pray that day is not soon. I am called Gluralk. Your people know mine by such unimaginative terms as beholders or eye tyrants. You may as well think of me as death, for I have as many ways of inflicting destruction as I have eyes on my head. You are wise to ask, for Baloth's personal power is puny compared to mine. It should have been impossible. But Baloth did not defeat me. He tricked me. Through illusion and deceit, he lured me into an anti-magic field that neutralizes even my awesome gazes. Even then, he required the aid of his djinn servant. You see, therein lies Baloth's true power. The combined strength of his willing allies and bound servants. Servants like you. I have my pride, but there is no point in denying an obvious truth. I have been Baloth's prisoner for many years. In that time, I have witnessed so many of his entertainments that the monotony begins to threaten my sanity. One day, he says, when he has found a champion able to best all of his other discoveries, he will release me to put an end to the spectacle. How should I know? I am a beholder, not a mind flayer. Still, if you think you are strong enough to become the champion of the Black Pits. Interesting. I am familiar with the sort of foe Baloth is likely to pit against you. I could offer you counsel from time to time. Sometimes the key to victory is not obvious to those who have not previously witnessed the opponents in action. Baloth always tests new combatants with a fairly straightforward battle. Bolster your defenses with magic, and you will have an advantage.
It took you long enough, you pathetic pack of peripatetics. Are you ready for your very first battle in my arena? I have a crowd waiting, and I want to show them a rousing rumble. I'm afraid I can't let you go. I would be disappointing dozens of desperately depraved devotees of my devious diversions. And just look at all the hard work I've put into creating this colossal complex of combat. But you wouldn't want that to go to waste, would you? So as you can see, there's no way I will allow you to leave. Your only choice is to provide a particularly prodigious performance in the pits. I'll kill you, of course, and maybe your families. Now then, throw on some big smiles and... ooh, dear. Maybe that one shouldn't smile. Have a cleric look at that most malevolent mouth. Anyway, back on topic. Are you ready to hear what you'll be battling against? Huzzah! Now then, are you ready to hear what fearsome foes you'll fight first? Before any of our unwilling warriors wastes our time in a meaningful match, we like to warm them up with a little light exercise. So as not to overwhelm the newcomers, we'll start with the worst of a wretched lot of gibberlings. Well, that certainly could have gone worse. You've proven you can stamp out the weakest of opponents. Now let's see how you do against some who have eaten in the last 10 days. Ah, you have returned! Are you ready to spill blood on the arena floor? They may not look like much, but these gibberlings have passed inspection. Unlike that last sorry game. You'll have to break a sweat to slay these savages. Well done, my precious pugilists! You've certainly proven that I picked well when I picked you to perish in the black pits.
Hello, you seem like adventurers. Do you know an elf named Alwyn the Illusionist? If you see him, could you give him this note?
Prepare yourselves, my underdog gladiators. A gruesome fate awaits you at the hand of this motley mob of miscreants. I yanked them from a shabby saloon. Perhaps the victors can celebrate with a drink. Congratulations! You have slain a bunch of boozy bumblers. Najim shall ensure that you are rewarded appropriately.
Are you prepared to face your next match? Whenever you face spellcasters, be sure to eliminate them first. Without their support, the other combatants will fall more easily.
Behold! Your next adversaries are a pack of punchy hobgoblins I picked up near Waterdeep. I promised them freedom if they perforate you, so they're just itching for a chance to escape. Either that or my delousing spell needs work. Goodness! The look on their faces when they realized they would never again see those disgusting dens they call home. I think that deserves a bonus.
Are you prepared to face your next match? The best way to stop a river is to cut it off at the source.
I do enjoy toying with lesser spellcasters. I captured this insolent little necromancer running for his life outside of Menzoberranzan. How we got there, I don't know. But he does summon skeletons with supernatural speed. Uncanny! You seem to have a knack for killing things that are already dead. If only you displayed a little more flair and enthusiasm for your work.
Are you prepared to face your next match? A pack of warriors bearing down on you may be fear-inspiring, but the same group sound asleep is far less terrifying.
While the spell is mightier than the sword, something is lost during a subtle spell duel. What is that elusive quality? The visceral impact of body blows, the crunch of bone, and the rending of flesh. Behold, a team of pulverizing pugilists ready to pound the precious life out of our proud defenders. Well, you may be able to take a hit, but you certainly won't make one fighting such dull brutes. I must provide a more engaging foe for our next fracas.
Are you prepared to face your next match? Divide and conquer is not always the winning strategy. There are times when you should all focus on one target.
You've beaten my hobgoblins, which means you're exceptionally strong. You've also bested my pet spellcaster, which means that you've studied well. I can clearly not rely on one extreme or another, so instead, I shall crush you with a combination of combatants. Carry on! Inconceivable! Get out of here and take your reward with you. Ridiculous! Outstanding! Impossible! Fantastic! You've managed to crush everything I've thrown at you. Clearly, I have excellent taste in selecting gladiators. You've survived for longer than I expected and gained quite a following in the process. But don't worry, you'll be dead soon enough. I've dug out some of my rarer beasts. Very soon now, they'll crack your skull open and feast on the gooey innards. Oh, don't be such a preposterously petulant persnicket. I'll tell you what. Because you've been so gracious about all this kidnapping and forced to fight to the death business, I'll give you a reward. Now go get ready for your next battle, You'll most likely be slain, so it's probably time to perform whatever funeral rituals your culture requires.
Impressive, mortal. Your feats in the arena have become a frequent topic of conversation. Perhaps you will set a new record for longest surviving combatant. No, Baloth has tasked me with giving you this reward for your outstanding performance. Take it and prepare for your next battle.
You're still alive. How? Baloth surely would have destroyed you by now, or perhaps he is merely toying with you. But you wouldn't torment me as he has, would you? No, I don't dare cross him again. His savagery knows no bounds. Please, hurry and take what you need before he sees us talking. It's not you, it's me. Baloth has a special place in his black heart for torturing me. He gladly takes any excuse to place me in the pain room. But please, just tell me what you need and go.
Way to go! You've been really terrific down in the pits. Do you need some more potions? My buddy the concoctor is ready to squirt out some more. Haven't you noticed? The concoctor doesn't mix ingredients in flasks and cauldrons and such the way a gnome alchemist would. He takes the ingredients into his own body, where they blend in exactly the right proportions before he excretes them to make the potions you need. Excretions! Wow, now that I say it out loud, it does sound kind of icky. Now, can we put some new potions in you today?
Watch yourself. With every battle, you anger Baloth more and more. Soon, he will pit you against an unbeatable foe. No, that will never happen. It mustn't. If any of us gets to fight that hateful drow, it must be me.
Your prowess in battle has become well known. Perhaps it was my weapons that tipped the balance in your favor. To gut down Baloth? Don't talk like that. He'll hear you. Besides, under the effects of his gaze, you could never use it against him. Of course, you fool! What loyal Durga wouldn't? Unlike my cousin Gorge, I just have no illusions about its happening. He's too clever to fall for that. I've never seen anyone make him lose his cool. Now, are you here to buy some weapons, or talk my ear off? What'll it be?
Ah, the ones who have stymied Baloth. He says he wants a good fight, yeah, but he really wants good death. The longer you deny him yours, the more he will pit you against deadlier foes. As did I. Perhaps there is yet hope. We Durga tried to fight him, but his spells were too powerful for us to resist. Funny, not everyone was at that battle. I still wonder what became of Thadek just before entering the battle. He returned only when it was over, and Baloth had already placed me here to serve his gladiators. Perhaps you could force his hand by depleting his supply of minions, but he continually brings in more and more exotic creatures.
You've lasted longer than anyone expected. I'd start taking bets if anyone nearby were man enough to speak to me. A spat? Is that what he calls it? Then why doesn't he say so to my face? Ever since that accursed drow captured us, Brendak hasn't said a word to me. He speaks to anyone else, just not his own wife. Curiosity killed more than a cat, you know. Listen, do you want to buy some weapons or not?
You've made quite a splash in the arena, and I'm not even talking about the blood. Of course not. I love Magda. It's just... I don't want anything to happen to any of us. Baloth torments us all, and he knows how much I love my wife. I've already said too much. I'm supposed to sell you armor. Do you want any?
So, you have not yet been eviscerated. You may allay my disappointment by buying more of my fine clothing. Your scent is even more offensive than usual for a mortal, and you show me no deference. Were I not Baloth's guest, I would tear out your innards with my bare claws. The singular virtue of your kind is the way you scream and writhe while being torn limb from limb. Oh, you would be surprised at how easily one becomes carried away while appraising a mortal for alterations. Now then, shall I take your measurements for a new garment? I see you find Zithus' silence as disturbing as his appearance. He should never have defied the will of Baloth. After subduing the Illithid, Baloth drilled the Mind Flayer's telepathy right out of its brain. The ghastly wretch can speak the common tongue well enough, but it pains the monster to be reduced to what it considers such a crude form of communication.
So, you're the current favourite. May tomorrow favour thee, until we meet in the Black Pit. That is the spirit I like to see. I look forward to seeing how you fare in your next battles.
They are obviously no match for us, my mistress.
When facing superior physical strength, be sure to protect the most vulnerable members of your party. And never forget that an attack can come from any direction.
I'm afraid I haven't had time to arrange a suitable contest for this next round. Wait, do you feel that? Something trembles through the earth, like doom burrowing its way into the arena. There! Can it be? Yes! The biggest bugs that ever bored through the earth! After that last contest, I don't know whether to call you a gladiator or an exterminator.
Study our rivals, my friends. Identify their weaknesses, but show them none.
What will hurt the most? Fire? Acid? Lightning? So many delicious choices.
Let me at that Baloth fool, and I will end this circus now. First we will triumph in the arena. Then we will crush this drow like a beetle.
When facing superior numbers, cast spells that deal damage over a wide area to even the odds.
For our next contest, I have brought you nature's own Avenger. A deadly druid with his own assemblage of amazing arachnids to annex, annul, abolish, and annihilate their adversaries. Again, you prove yourself a skilled swatter of insects. Perhaps what you need are some enemies with real backbone.
The fateful hour draws closer. Ready yourselves, my companions.
As you wish, infallible Thespia.
Let's try these bars again, Poetica. It's no use. This present is too strong.
I can't break this lock, but how I would love to open Baloth's throat.
When facing the undead, take precautions lest you succumb to the chill of the grave. And never overlook the power of a divine spellcaster.
Oh, now I feel a little bad about this one. I've allowed your opponents into the arena early so they can put their special talents to use. Try not to trip as you traverse the tricky territory. I didn't think you'd sidestep all those traps I instructed them to set up. You should be a pile of constituent body parts right now. Bah! Take your reward and choke on it.
Well done. You have proven to be a most effective leader, especially considering what you have to work with.
They cannot hold a candle to you, incomparable Thespia.
Silence your toady, Thespia. His mewling sickens me. Say the word, Thespia, and I'll snap Treacle's neck for you.
Yeah, perhaps you'd prefer I make this ingratiating smile, like permanent and much wider.
Silence, all of you. The enemy is watching. Give them nothing.
As Beloth grows more desperate to stem the tide of your rising popularity, he will resort to an overwhelming onslaught of endless foes. You must cut off their reinforcements, lest you drown beneath their endless waves.
Some of my friends have come to me to confide their concerns that I have favored quality over quantity. Well, who says you can't have them both? Here, with 5 endless avenues to excitement, is my friend and yours, the magnificent Ogre Mage! That was hardly fair, routing your rival's reinforcements. But you have given me a great idea. What this contest needs are some fresh faces, and I have just the plan to provide some.
At last you've won the right to face us. I relish the opportunity to defeat a worthy foe.
It will be just like the time you led us to glorious victory over those drow. With Thespia leading us, we cannot lose.
It will be nothing like that, you simpering lick-spittle. No one will get past me and Lucille.
And nothing will stop me from wetting my fingers in the tenderest of our foes.
Some battles appear straightforward, but the difference between the opposing sides lies within rather than without.
Enough is enough! I am a fair master, as long as my needs are served by being fair. But this is ridiculous! I need fresh blood, so I have plucked a new crop of combatants from the conjuring kingdom of Thay. Meet your replacements. Get out. Get out! Get out of my sight before I burn your eyes from their sockets! My apologies. I seldom lose my temper before an audience. It's just that I'm so impressed by your performance that I find it difficult to express myself. I should be joyous, for with you I have created the entertainment spectacle of a generation. It is somewhat irksome that the crowd roars louder for you than when I step out to introduce the combatants, but well, I shan't trouble you with the vicissitudes of show business. I shall find something far deadlier to trouble you with. While you've done an excellent job of entertaining my guests, it is time to eliminate your exasperating endurance. Oh, that doesn't mean you won't go out with a bang. Far from it, in fact. Najim, Prepare a suitable gift for them.
Never have I witnessed a mortal fret Baloth so. I must confess to taking a certain pleasure in witnessing his dismay. Take this gift. I have added something extra. Perhaps you will have a better chance than Baloth intends. I do not know his plans, but I assure you it will not be pleasant. However, Baloth is not as omnipotent as he appears. You have already cracked his calm facade.
Huzzah! You really showed Baloth this time. I think you might go all the way. Very few contestants have won 10 battles, and only once before has anyone beaten all 15. Then Baloth himself stepped in to finish the winning streak. If anyone can do it, it's you.
Hey, the concoctor says he's become your biggest fan. He's glad you've done so well in the arena. Can I show you some of our new potions? Remember, the concoctor is a myconid. Just because his body is made of fungus instead of meat doesn't mean he doesn't have a heart. What's that, my friend? Oh, he says he doesn't have a heart exactly, but you know what I mean. He wants to be free of this place as much as anyone else. We'd both like to return to roaming the Underdark in search of strange new fungal growths and valuable gems. You know, respectively.
I begin to envy you. While I have nursed my vengeance quietly, you have shamed Baloth in the arena. Just be sure you do not overstep your bounds and attack the drow yourself. Baloth earned my vengeance long before you crossed his path. If anyone is to wreak vengeance on him, it shall be me. It shall be me. No, you don't understand. It shall be me. Do not threaten me with your arcane words.
Only Ladigar knows how you have survived this long. It must be because of the superior weapons I have provided. Have you come to trade for my latest stock? I didn't. I don't. You don't know what you're talking about. Whatever that blabbermouth Gorch has said, it's a lie. Who else would know? I mean, who else would think? That is, he's always spreading lies about me. You shouldn't believe anything he says. I don't have a secret. There isn't any secret.
Do mine eyes deceive me? Alive and well, hale and hearty? Baloth must have been furious to see you walk out of the arena after your most recent victory. His mask is slipping. I want to believe you will continue to prevail, but I have been disappointed in the past. If you rise up to challenge Baloth, I will be the first to cheer your name when he falls. A few months back, a group defeated all 15 of Baloth's prepared entertainments. Infuriated by the champion's success, Baloth entered the pits to face them himself. As you can see, Baloth is still here. If you sift the sand in the black pits thoroughly, you may turn up some bits of the former champions. If you do manage to overcome all of his other entertainments, you may still find Baloth more than you can handle. Be sure to hone your skills and equip yourself as well as possible before that time comes. I have noticed the same. Sometimes I wonder why Thay was nowhere to be seen when Baloth first attacked. He showed up only after the battle, almost as if he expected... No, I cannot bear to think that. By the time Thay returned, much of the clan was slain, the rest enslaved. His reaction seemed forced, almost as if he was pretending to be surprised. When Baloth turned toward him, he knelt at once.
You sure are getting under Baloth's skin. If only our Durgar men had showed such spirit when Baloth attacked us. Do you need any new weapons for the fight? As much as I have blamed the others for failing to stop the drow, I too failed in directing the power of Ladugar against our foes. Perhaps Brendak is ashamed of my failure. He still refuses to speak to me, even as he chats with Gotch all the time.
You continue to astonish us with your victories.
Master, there is a matter requiring your attention in the Room of Pain.
Ah, already? I expected this one to hold out much longer. Well, any time is a good time for pain.
This could be a trick, but I may never have another chance. Belos knows how much I depend on Magda for support during this ordeal. His idea of the perfect torment was to promise he would kill one of my people if I spoke so much as a word to Magda. And he threatened to kill another for every additional word I spoke to her. He knew my silence would infuriate her too, torturing us both in one wicked stroke. His cruelty is boundless. No matter how angry Magda became, I could never explain why I appeared to ignore her. But he also never forbade me to speak with anyone else. That's right. You could tell her the truth for me.
What? He suffered the brunt of my anger all this time in silence. But he was only trying to protect the rest of the survivors.
Bah! Much as I appreciate Balot's entertainment, I cannot condone his cosseting you to please the crowd. Fie on you! Obviously he has chosen opponents with subtle weaknesses, invisible to the eyes of the audience. How else could you have come so far with your obviously limited abilities? There! That is the fighting spirit that seduced Baloth into going easy on you. No doubt he hopes to raise tension among the less sophisticated members of the audience. But I, who have used mortals as my playthings for centuries, am not fooled.
Helsingenetten, I see that disgusting Majer Baloth has trapped you as well. You look competent as far as small folk go. Ha! I should not expect one of your sort to understand the words of the Jotun. He lured me away from my huslider. After a furious slag, he stepped aside and let his pet Jinn bind me. Were the circumstances similar for you? I crave nothing more than another chance to drive my Sven through his twisted alv heart. You amuse me, little one. Perhaps I will feel a twinge of regret when I am forced to shatter your spine.
Killing something can be easy, but keeping it dead is not. Take care, lest your fallen foes rise up again to haunt you, and always remember to dispose of their bodies.
Tell me, which feeling do you enjoy the least? A foul set of clawed hands grasping at your neck? Or the painful, dissolving juices of slime creeping into your pantaloons? Wait, don't answer. You can have both. Oh, this is no fun. Your neck remains unscathed and your pantaloons are rapidly drying. What a waste of good slimes.
I await you, Baloth. Let me crush these Ettins so we may have a proper slag.
The simplest advantages are often the most effective. Never enter a battle without an enchanted weapon or 6.
While subtlety can be deadly, Who doesn't love a good, straightforward beating? And what beating isn't better with bigger brawlers? Watch as these brutal behemoths batter their enemies to bloody rubbish. What a despicable display of enchanted weapons! It's almost as if someone gave them advice. Was it you, Najim?
No, my master. I obey your every command. If anyone counsels them, I assure you, it is not I.
Your pathetic magisk is no match for the might of Iljoten. Come out of your hole and face me!
Winter is coming, and you must be prepared for its frozen breath.
From the uttermost reaches of the Great Glacier, I bring you a frozen treat unlike any you have enjoyed before. Thrill to the fearsome ferocity of these frosty foes. Confound it! Once more you have anticipated my surprise! How does this keep happening?
I will shatter this conjurike of yours, Baloth. I will watch it burn while I gnaw upon your bones.
No less powerful than ice is flame. Protect yourselves, or prepare to burn.
I nabbed this big fellow from the plane of fire, and my, is he ever angry. I'm even having a little trouble keeping this one in check. Begin the battle before this big belligerent breaks loose. Ah! It appears I have miscalculated once again. I grow tired of this game. Begone! You are beginning to bother me.
I never thought this day would come again. Surely Baloth will have to fight you now. You've done even better than the last champion. You're not just a great pit fighter. You're a real hero. The concoctor says he can hardly believe you get to face Baloth next. Those who fought him before have all died. Sometimes I'm afraid we'll never be free of that wicked drow. Before you face Baloth, the concoctor has a gift for you. He's been working on it for a long time, hoping that someone like you might come along to make use of it. Not many Myconids can make such potions. In fact, only their kings can brew them. Myconids are social creatures. Only their kings stand apart from their huddled circles to brew these fabulous concoctions inside their own bodies. While the concoctor was apart from his people, a band of drow raided the Myconid grotto. The dark elves prized certain Myconid organs for their magical properties. When the concoctor returned with his latest brew, he found his people slaughtered. He left the grotto, searching in vain for any other survivors. Of course, there were none. Then one day the concoctor found me lying injured from a fall and healed me with one of his drafts. With all of his people gone, he's looked after me ever since. Well, I suppose you're right. Anyway, your success in the Black Pits has given us both hope that we'll be able to wander the Underdark again soon, free from this insane drow and his entertainments.
You must be very proud of yourself. Well, that won't last. Baloth will tear you to pieces. You have no more right to trespass on Durgar territory than that wretched drow has. Nothing would please me more than to destroy you both, yeah? When Beloth dies, it must be at my hand and my hand alone. I will not allow you or anyone else to steal my revenge. Help you? An outsider? Ladiger curse me if I ever raise a hand to aid you.
Purchase what you want quickly, outsider. I have no wish to speak with you. A Durgar's first duty is to himself. If I had resisted Beloth, I would have perished just as you shall when he deals with you in the arena.
You've done better than spit in his eye. You've made Beloth hopping mad. We all hope so. But if we were free to act, we would help you. Well, perhaps not all of us. He has grown more and more sullen as he sees the suspicion in our eyes. We must be prepared to subdue him the moment Beloth falls. It is a matter best left to us Durgar. It is strange enough that we find ourselves indebted to an outsider. We must take care of the traitor ourselves. It would be best if you and the other non-Durgar left as quickly and quietly as possible after Beloth's demise. For a few of us understand what you are doing for us. The rest of the clan will not take kindly to the presence of outsiders. They will see you as another threat, not so different from Beloth. I may be able to buy you a little time, but I cannot keep them from attacking you. There are far too many for even you to defeat.
I guess you knew what you were in for after all. You're not so bad for an outsider. I hope you don't end up like the last champion who fought Beloth. Don't be overconfident. Beloth is treacherous. Don't expect him to face you alone.
Hail, champion of the Black Pit. May Ladiger protect you in the battle to come. Listen, friend. I shouldn't refer to you as a friend, but you've done so much for my people's morale already. Can I impose on you as a friend? While I am forbidden from speaking to Magda, you are not. Will you pass her a message for me? Tell her that every day I've gone without talking to her has been agony. I pray for Ladiger to free us from our oppressor so we can be reunited. I did not have much hope until recently. The one at a time Beloth fought a champion, our hopes were dashed. This time, something tells me it will be different.
He asked you to tell me that? What a risk he took! If Beloth were to find out... Oh, my dear brave Brendak, thank you for relaying his words.
You must defeat Beloth. Cannot. Mind wounded. Incomplete. Now you have gone too far. Beloth will not stand for this insolence. You were not brought here to triumph. You were brought here to die. It is Beloth's first rule that everyone is brought to the Black Pits to die. That's right. But you give me an interesting idea. Perhaps it is time that Beloth changed the rules of the Black Pits. You shall see soon enough. And you will wish that you had never annoyed me.
You have triumphed. As much as I appreciate your efforts in clearing my path, now it is the time for my victory. I shall offer you no further advice. I would suggest that you simply lay down your arms and embrace death, as it will be easier for everyone involved. I cannot, and I would not if I could. I will not risk bringing down the anger of Beloth while he still holds some power over me. You will die, and I will be free. Do you truly think that I will allow myself to be destroyed by the likes of you when my freedom is nearly at hand? Come now. We are both creatures of intellect, perhaps one of us more than the other. And I do not wish to cause you undue suffering. Go now, and make whatever death rituals are necessary for your species.
Ah, you have returned! Are you ready to spill blood on the arena floor? Had I known you would grow to become such a thorn in my side, I would have left you where I found you. You must be very proud of defeating all of the challenges that the great Baloth has placed before you. How furious you must think I am. Surely you are on the very edge of freedom. No. No escape. No more tricks. No more performances. No more last-minute victories. Your lives end here. But at least your wish will be granted. I will personally face you in combat. Your antics grew stale long ago. Garrick, draw your blade and enter the arena with me. You and I shall bleed these creatures to death. Slowly.
With pleasure, Baloth. I was hoping you would grant me the honor of cutting down these impertinent mortals.
Baloth, grant me a place at your side in this battle. I wish to see these creatures slaughtered firsthand.
Traitor! How could mine own cousin side with our oppressor?
You have driven me to it, cousin, with your whispered insinuations.
By standing with this drow, you admit your guilt?
I won't deny it any longer. Baloth found me before he came to our Vorons. He spared my life in exchange for information on our defenses. With his mighty spells, he would have overcome them anyway. Why should I have sacrificed my life to buy the rest of you just a little time?
You are no blood of mine, you foot-licking craven, you betrayer. I'll destroy you myself.
You are welcome to try, cousin. You cannot hope to succeed when I stand beside Baloth.
Such a dramatic turn of events. Gorch, would you mind repeating that splendid rant of indignation on the arena floor? I thought not. Garrick, Thartic, to me! Together we will traumatize these tenacious troopers. Enough! Glurok! I shall give you anything you desire if you kill these insolent fools! No! My captives triumph over me? Me? Baloth the entertainer? Oh, this is all a terrible cliché! Unworthy of my final entertain.
Freedom! With the death of this unworthy drow, the arcane shackles fall away from my soul. Now, as for the rest of you mortals, fear not. To demonstrate my gratitude, I will open a portal to transport you back to the surface world. Do not tarry long. The Durgar will not long suffer your presence in their domain. Speak to me again when you are ready to leave.
You've done it! I admit at first I didn't think anyone could free us from that mad drow. Especially not you, anyway.
Baloth knew exactly how to torment me by keeping me from my beloved Magda. Thanks to you, I once more have her strength to add to my own.
Despite our gratitude, you must not remain here for long. The other members of our clan will not take kindly to finding an outsider among us.
Magda is right as usual. Go and take our thanks with you. We cannot defend you against our own people.
You have my appreciation. I will not feast on your brain today.
You're the best. Until you came along, I didn't realize how much Baloth had shaken my courage. I'll try to follow your example from now on and face all my challenges with confidence. The concoctor knew it from the start. You're a real hero. We'll tell everyone we meet in the Underdark about the champion of the Black Pits.
Come now, mortal. I will not remain here any longer.
Leave! You cannot hope to defeat all of the Durgar.
Make your escape, you fool. My brethren will not suffer the presence of an outsider any longer.
No, no, I will not have this. I should have been the one to slay Beloth, not some miserable outsider.
Are you ready to leave the Black Pits? Do not test my patience, mortal.